It is the best day of Melchizedek. It is the best day of the King of Salem. It is the best day of Melchizedek. It is the best day of God of my King. I'm the super rays of Melchizedek. And Daddy, I know soon I will see you. Like a sensible virgin, I'll be waiting for you. Always and forever, my lamp will be full. To serve you, my God, to serve you, my King. We are your people, Melchizedek.
Hello, blessed angels. Today's topic is the fan, lesson 664.
Today's topic is the fan. Today we're going to talk about that fan, which is God Himself blowing to clean the hay and leave the temple very clean. Yes, because He takes care of us too much, and until He takes that last foolish one amongst us out, He will not stop fanning or blowing. Today we will read some parables. Why is it that Jesus spoke so many parables? It is obvious He spoke that way so that those who have ears to hear can hear, and those who can recognize His voice understand Him. Or could it be that your ear is docile, which means easy to teach or lead, who obeys or carries out what he's told to be and is obedient? Those who are humble and let themselves be girded with this word of the eternal gospel. Let's read some parables to see who has the ear to listen and who does not. Matthew chapter 13, verse 3 and on. Then He spoke many things to them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell on stony places, where they did not have much earth, and they immediately sprang up because they had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Why does it say he who has ears to hear, let him hear? Because this is only for those who listen to the details correctly. And to listen to the details correctly, you have to be completely decontaminated of all flesh and spirit. When you walk in the light, you hear clearly. Let's continue reading to see the purpose of this parable in Matthew chapter 13. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. We are the blessed ones because we see and hear. Why do you see and they do not? Because for walking in the darkness, they cannot see this marvelous glory we are in. Verse 17. For assuredly, I say to you that many prophets and righteous men desire to see what you see, and did not see it, and to hear what you hear, and did not hear it. They spoke at this moment, but they were not allowed to see or hear it. That is why we are blessed greatly. Verse 18 and on. Oh, therefore hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom, and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is he who receives seed by the wayside. But he who received the seed on stony places, this is he who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but endures only for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he stumbles. Now he who receives seed among the thorns is he who hears the word, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful. But he who receives seed on good ground is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and produces, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. We've seen those types of soil pass by here because they all have to pass through here. Of course, because the kingdom is here. And we're that soil that when Jose Luis sowed in us, the seed fell and died and bore fruit. Those that do not bear fruit, it is because their soil is not good and the seed does not die, and when the fan comes, they're swept away by it. But we who are well grounded, when the fan comes, it only blows cool air to our face, but it does not move us. That fan is so delightful, right? It blows cool air and removes the hay amongst us. Now we're going to see what happens when the wheat and weeds grow in the same soil. In Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 to 30. Another parable he put forth to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went his way. But when the grain had sprouted and produced a crop, then the weeds also appeared. So the servants of the owners came and said to him, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have weeds? He said to them, An enemy has done this. The servants said to him, Do you want us then to go and gather them up? But he said, No, lest while you gather up the weeds, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, First gather together the weeds, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. It means that on your soil, an enemy can come and sow weeds. But if your soil is good, the weeds are removed in the time of the harvest. But it does not damage your soil. That is why the king allows the weeds to grow next to the wheat. He loves to clean his era or his century, his time. He's always blowing, and those who are not listening correctly to the details, that means they go through much pain until they are no more. I have a Father that we've respected our God and have been obedient to his instructions. And now he's so pleased with us. And soon we will see him. How beautiful! We've arrived to that promised land. We've arrived to that land where the fountain of water is, the water that will not make you thirsty ever again. Abba Father, until next time, my beloved ones.
We conclude we thank our God, Melchizedek Michael, because they teach us that this is only for those who hear the details. To listen to the details, you have to be completely decontaminated from flesh and spirit. They congratulate us for always being ready for the battle. When our flesh wants to rise, we quickly take it captive and attack it with the word of truth. We know that the brave of Melchizedek Michael fit here.
It is the best day of Melchizedek. It is the best day of the King of Salem. It is the best day of Melchizedek. It is the best day.